and welcome to our October 27th legislative meeting, and welcome to the City of Salisbury City Council. In the event of an emergency, please remain calm, exit through the double doors you came in, make a right and proceed to the stairwell. If the hallway is blocked, then exit to the left, around the corner, and down the stairs. Please do not use the elevator, and let us know if you need any assistance. At this time, we ask that everyone please silence your cell phones. The City of Salisbury would like to acknowledge our intern, Matt Wessels.
Yes.
We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance by Michelle Gregory, Councilwoman.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We still do that.
At this time, we ask Pastor Greg Carlson from Park 7 Venice Day Adventist to come forward to provide the invocation.
Thank you, Mrs. Chair. Let's bow our heads. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together tonight in peace, in a peaceful land, and discuss the business of the city. We pray for the wisdom of Solomon, the patience of Job, as the things on the agenda tonight are discussed and decisions are made. Bless each person here, their families, their needs. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
And we will now have a council citation. Councilwoman DeShields will now present a citation to Sergeant Tom Hitty of the Salisbury City Police Department.
It is my honor and a privilege to present a citation to one of our own, especially after seeing him in action in so many of his projects. Citation tonight is whereas for over 20 years, Sergeant Hitty has served with distinction in the Salisbury Police Department, spending 5 years on patrol, 10 years in the Criminal Investigation Division, and the last 5 years as the Training and Recruitment Officer and Community Service Officer, leaving a lasting mark on both his colleagues and the citizens he serves. And whereas, beyond his official duties, Sergeant Hitty has devoted countless hours to programs that uplift and inspire local youth, including the Police Activities League, Explorers, and his weekly work with the Boys and Girls Club on Truett Street. And whereas he has organized educational trips, hosted the Citizens Police Academy, and led initiatives such as National Night Out and the Flag Football Program, creating safe spaces and opportunities for connection and growth. And whereas Sergeant Hitty's commitment to community extends even further through his active participation in Special Olympics Maryland events, including Cops on Rooftops, the Torch Run, and the Polar Bear Plunge, as well as his work with Operation We Care, supporting our troops and engaging youth volunteers in acts of service. And whereas, time and time again, Sergeant Hitty has gone above and beyond the call of duty, responding with compassion to families in need, mobilizing resources, and fostering partnerships that strengthen our city. And whereas with sincere gratitude and admiration, the City of Salisbury commends Sergeant Thomas Hitty for his outstanding contributions, inspiring leadership, and tireless dedication to strengthening and supporting the Salisbury community. Therefore, on behalf of Deshaun Dowdy, President of the City Council, together with the City of Salisbury, we proudly acknowledge Sergeant Thomas Hitty for his remarkable service, guidance, and unwavering commitment to the well-being and safety of our community. I hereunto set my hand in the seal of the City of Salisbury, 27th of October. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sergeant Hitty, for representing the City of Salisbury Police Department and the city and our communities very well. We appreciate you. You are appreciated. Ms. English will now present the legislative agenda.
Good evening. On the legislative agenda, we have 2 award of bids, we have 2 resolutions, and we have 4 ordinances. Then we will have public comment and adjournment.
Can I get a motion and a second to approve the legislative agenda?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, and the chair votes aye as well. Award of bids. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Lowe?
Good evening, council. So on tonight's award of bids, I have 2 contract awards. Contract ITB 26111, this is property and records management storage. And ITB 26112, north and south side pump station pumps. The Department of Procurement seeks award of bid approval from the City of Salisbury Council for the solicitations as defined herein. The Department of Procurement follow required procurement policy and procedure as defined by the City of Salisbury Charter and Municipal Code of Ordinances for the procurements presented below. For the property and records management storage, this is for Police Department. It's an expansion of existing storage solutions for records. The purchase is being governed by a cooperative contract through the Aqualis Group for furniture and storage products and services. The vendor awarded for the state of Maryland is Storage Logic, and the contract started July 1, 2025 and is good through 2028. The cost of this storage solution, $261,227. It's funded in the buildings account for capital improvements this year. And purchasing authority per City of Salisbury Charter SC 16.3, general policy of bidding exception states that competitive bidding is not necessary or appropriate in the following circumstances. And it's when the city receives a contract price negotiated by the state, county, or other governmental entity. The second award I have on award of bids tonight is the pumps for Northside, Southside pump stations for the Department of Waterworks. This will replace the low flow pumps at both pump stations. The vendor requesting award for is Sherwin-Logan with a total cost of $170,921, funded by the GL accounts noted in the packet. This one is a sole source justification for this vendor. This company only sells these components through this particular vendor, Sherwood-Logan, and all of the information of that justification is in the packet as well.
Does any council member have any questions?
No.
No questions? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And our pumpkin is on Facebook for a vote. So,
Those ours.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I
is the
think we
best.
gotta go.
Are we
We've got-
fighting?
We're obligated to vote for the clerk.
That was a cheap-
Sorry.
That was
We
a
only
cheap
vote-
plug.
We can only vote for one, is that right?
Shameless plug.
I voted for 3 last year and got caught.
Okay. We are now moving to the resolution section of the agenda. Charter Amendment Resolution number 2025 for this first reading. Can I get a motion and a second to approve Charter Amendment Resolution number 2025-1?
So moved.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Charter Amendment Resolution 2025-1. This is a resolution to amend Article 16 of the City Charter to update the chain of command of the Director of Procurement. Before you tonight for first reading. Procedurally, following this first reading, there will be a public hearing followed by a second reading.
All in favor signify by saying aye,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Charter Amendment Resolution Number 2025-2 for the first reading. Can I get a motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
Charter Amendment 2025-2. This is a resolution to amend SC 4-1 of the City Charter to update the powers and duties of City Administrator and Deputy Administrator. Again, before you tonight for first reading, followed by a public hearing and second reading.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the chair votes aye. Ordinances. Ordinances number 2958 for first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Ordinance number 2958. This is an ordinance of the City of Salisbury for the abandonment of a portion of a road known as Burton Street, located east of Delaware Avenue.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. Ordinance number 2960 for first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Ordinance number 2960. This is an ordinance of the City of Salisbury approving a budget amendment to the city's general fund for lease proceeds to purchase police radios, fire radios, and AED heart monitors, and to change the funding source of the Property and Records Department Management System previously approved under Schedule B with the FY 2026 Budget Ordinance Number 2935 before you tonight for first reading.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the chair votes aye. Ordinance number 2961 for first reading.
Excuse me, Madam President. I need Chris to come let Lindsay and Municap on here,
Okay,
and I can't get on. It's not allowing me to
okay.
let them on. They need to speak to this ordinance.
Is Cindy here? No, there she is. Okay.
Just be patient with us. That's what I just said too. Bring it over here.
Chris, how do you stay so calm during all of this?
Because he's been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
You see his beard is gray.
I'm panicked.
Yeah, yeah. Me as
While
well.
we're on there.
Okay, can I unmute them?
That's what happens when you love what you do. Patience is a virtue.
Yeah,
Working on it.
it's always very impressive.
You're very patient, Sharon.
Lindsay, can you hear us?
Oh, we can't hear her.
You hear her.
She's not.
No?
Oh, there you are.
Okay, good.
And Nate, can you hear us?
I can hear you, yes.
Wonderful. We're good to go,
Great. Technology.
right? So you are good to share whatever you need to with the council.
Good evening. Lindsay Rader, Funkenbolton, Bond Counsel to the city. We discussed this ordinance a couple weeks ago at a work session, so I'll just briefly review it again, and then we're happy to answer any questions. In 2007, the city issued a series of tax increment financing, special taxing district bonds in order to finance the costs of public improvements, certain reserves, and certain administrative expenses for a district that was created in the city. In 2015, due to some defaults on the bonds were modified with the consent and agreement of the bondholders, and they were restructured as capital appreciation bonds based on development projections at that time. That modification constituted an amendment for state law purposes, but it was not an issuance of a new series of bonds for state law purposes, although it did constitute a reissuance for federal tax law purposes. The current holder of all the bonds has asked that the city explore refunding the bonds through the issuance of combined tax increment financing special taxing district bonds, which would likely be structured as two different series, a senior series of current interest bonds and a subordinate series, which would continue to be held by the current bondholders, that would basically think of them as cash flow bonds. They would be structured as capital appreciation bonds, just like the 2015 modified bonds, and that series would be paid as the senior series debt service is covered, and if there are any additional tax increment financing revenues or special taxes left over in each year. One of the key points is if any of these bonds are issued, they do not constitute a pledge of the city's full faith and credit and unlimited taxing power. They are not general obligation bonds under this ordinance. The statutes for TIF bonds and special taxing district bonds require the ordinance state the maximum principal amount to be issued and specify the maximum interest rates. And this ordinance does that. The maximum initial principal amount would be for any series issued would be $18 million. And the maximum interest rates would be 6.5% for a tax exempt series, a senior tax exempt series, 9% for a senior taxable series, 10%
What?
for a senior tax exempt series and 15% for a taxable subordinate series. In accordance with the TIF and special taxing district statutes, the mayor is delegated the authority to determine all other details by executive order. Now, we are still working through analysis on the proposed structuring, but we had asked that the city council consider introducing the ordinance at this meeting, and if you do, schedule a public hearing and consider the ordinance for passage at your November 10th meeting. A key point is passing the ordinance does not obligate the city to issue the bonds. And I'm happy to answer any questions, and we have representatives of MuniCap Inc., which is the city's financial advisor for this proposed transaction, in the meeting as well.
Questions?
Yeah, we failed in getting together last week. I did attend the one conference call. My concern is, I realize these bonds went into default back in 06 or 07, but if they had performed as they would have, you would hope during the normal market, we would have paid out about $11.5 million on an $8 million bond, for that, with normal rates, with incremental finance. And it looks like we had such an accumulation of interest because there was no increment finance available to make the payments and even though they bought them at a discount, I just need to do the analysis before I would be in favor of going forward with any ordinance in that regard. We could be, from a commitment perspective, not city funds, but the loss of revenue to the city could be $15, $16, $17 million for an $8 million road, maybe more, So I don't know. I have no idea what the numbers are. Andy was involved in this up until he left, and I kind of got blindsided when we were talking about it last meeting. I was like, no one's ever said anything to me about this. So I would like to, if it would be possible for the council to consider, let's just table this until I have an opportunity to review it, and we'll revisit it at some point in the future.
I basically feel the same way because I think that's what she just said before we should have a public session.
This would move it on.
Excuse me?
This would move it on to the public session,
Yeah,
correct? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think, and we should have the public's input on this. And Mayor, you said you just want to table it?
Well, I know it doesn't obligate us, but I'm a little uncomfortable with us getting that far. I don't even know what we've paid out to date to the current TIF holders, and and what the discount was when they took them over at the time. So, and then what the commitment would be going forward. I think even though we're paying it effectively because we're not collecting our revenue from the increment financing of Violet Farm, it's costing us money. So we need to figure out where the woe is here.
I understand what you're saying too, but I understand the public needs to have some
Sure,
kind of weigh-in,
absolutely.
some kind of buy-in here. We need to hear how they feel about it, and because this is their money.
Lindsay, are you saying we need to have the ordinance in place before we have a public hearing, or can we have a public hearing prior?
No, you actually have to have the public hearing before you pass the ordinance.
Okay.
So if we
Which
move
is why we had
this to the public hearing.
thought about trying to introduce the ordinance this evening, hold the public hearing on November 10th, and you can either consider the ordinance for passage on November 10th after the public hearing, or you could defer consideration at that point.
Absolutely.
And I know that MuniCap has been working very closely with the trustee for the 2015 modified bonds to nail down exactly the payments that have been made to date, which is that information you're asking for me. And I'll let Keenan Rice, who's the president of MuniCap, speak to that if he wants. But these are always a little bit of a chicken and an egg kind of transaction. So that's why in the ordinance, we set the maximum interest rates high with the hope that we wouldn't come close to those maximums. But that's just the way we tend to do this. And I'll let Keenan jump in here.
Yeah, so thanks, Lindsay. So not expressing an opinion about whether, what action you take tonight, but I don't think the city's ready on November the 10th. I don't think I think the mayor has raised some good questions that we haven't fully evaluated. And, I think there is a business deal here with the current bondholder. And I just don't think that's been fully evaluated. I don't think we're in a position to report back to the mayor and the city council and to the public on, the exact parameters here, that does make sense for the city and, and answers to the mayor's questions. I think those are important questions. I think we're in the process of looking into those, but we're not at the point where we have answers yet. And I think there are important questions that need answers.
I agree. I do agree. Are there any other questions or anything that we would like to present to?
Just they're going to clarify it, and that's in numbers with numbers, and that's what we're looking for, correct?
Okay, so, Mayor, you have anything else you want to say?
I'm good, thank you.
So, do you want to move this forward, or do you want to table it?
The vote's already been taken for first reading, correct?
Yeah.
So
No, I'm sorry, I don't believe the vote was taken for first reading. We merely discussed it at a work session, so it has not actually been introduced yet.
To present it for first reading, they need to call.
did the motion in the second, so
Now
you'll
you
take the vote.
To approve it for first reading to move forward to a public hearing, if that's what you want to do.
Are we moving it forward
Forward.
if we want more information? I need clarification.
Yeah.
Do we move it forward even though we're waiting for more information, or do we wait till we have more information before we move it forward?
I would say that's up to you. If you want,
So if we want more information,
Yeah.
then we don't move it forward. Is that what you're saying?
unless you want to move it forward to get the information and then do the public hearing at the same time.
Yeah, I think more information is required before we move
It is.
forward. I agree.
So,
So do you want to move it back to a work session or,
Until we get more information, yeah, great, yeah.
yes, we are.
okay, so,
I want to make a motion. No, I can't make the motion.
no, you don't.
Okay, I'm so used to doing
I
it.
know it.
Wait, we already have a motion on the floor, so we have to
The vote.
close that out. So how do we close that out now?
Don't vote in favor.
Okay. Okay.
So we vote not to move it forward?
Yeah,
Move no. Okay.
we're voting not to move it forward. Okay?
So you're voting nay
Nay.
Nay.
We're voting
on the
nay
motion and the
on
second on the
motion.
floor.
You're voting,
Okay.
Nay.
and the chair votes nay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We need more,
Okay.
especially if they don't have the information. My question is when will we get that information?
Before November 10th,
Yeah.
so you can present it again in November, sorry.
And it works out.
Hopefully the information, Michelle and I
Can
are
we- can we-
chatting,
can we-
sorry.
yeah.
So that hopefully we have.
So do we need to make a motion for it
Yes,
to come to
please.
work session? Okay,
Yes.
so
Yep.
I move that we bring this back to work session and on the 10th.
With additional information.
Yeah.
And the chair votes. Yeah, nay.
Show me the motion.
Okay, so
Yeah.
need a second.
Can you
I need
Second.
a second, okay.
And then we got to vote.
And then we have to vote, okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Now, I just want to clarify with Lindsay that, are you understanding what additional information they are wanting for the 10th?
I believe so. I'll defer really to the MuniCap team because they are the ones who have been working to nail down that information. So Keenan, do you think November 10th, getting that, normally we have to provide information about a week ahead of time before a meeting, which would mean the information would have to be available by next Tuesday. Is that correct, Ms. English?
As long as you get it to me by Friday of next week, you'll be fine.
I will tell you, I'm a little bit concerned because I think once we do the analysis, we may want to have a conversation with you, the mayor, the finance director, and discuss it. We may want to have some follow-up analysis after that. So I just, we're working diligently on this. We've made, a fair amount of progress, but I just think there's a little bit, not only work to do, but probably some discussion and refinement of that work before we bring it back in a work session.
That's what we voted on, correct? Was to just have that discussion, not
we
to
had the discussion
vote
on the
on
10th.
moving it for.
They won't have it ready by
But they
the
won't have
10th.
the information by
Well,
the
maybe,
10th.
I think tonight, the upshot is we can't commit that we will have the information
Yeah, and I
by
understand that.
the 10th, so.
So when is our next?
I was gonna say,
No. After that. Because she's saying they won't have all the information, so it's no need of us going into a work session until they have all the information.
The 24th will be the next meeting after that.
Lindsay, do you think you'll have possibly by the 22nd?
24th.
24th?
Yeah, I think we could say that.
Okay. Okay. Well, we make a.
thank you.
Can we? Okay, go ahead. Michelle, you're gonna have to do it.
Okay, then am I gonna have to make another motion now?
Yes,
Okay.
you said the first one.
Okay, I move that we move it forward into another work session on the 24th of November where we can get some more information.
Okay,
Second.
vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay,
Sorry
so,
for the confusion all.
no, you're fine, you're fine.
These are chicken and eggs transactions.
Okay, now we're moving on to ordinance number 2962 for the first reading. Can I get a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Ordinance number 2962, this is an ordinance of the City of Salisbury amending Chapter 2.12.040 of the City Code to update the chain of command of the Director of Infrastructure and Development. Before you tonight for first reading.
Questions or anything?
No.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Okay, now we're here for the most important part of it, the public comments. We will now hear public comments. You will have 3 minutes. If you wish to comment, please come up to the podium and state your name, and if you are a city resident.
What's our-
Is the timer up? I can't see it. I'm patient. It's okay. We're good?
Yes.
Okay. My name is KT. I'm a city resident, still Sharon's neighbor. I've had a really crappy weekend. And to paraphrase, we had a major sewage backup in the house. And this happened Sunday early morning. And we couldn't get a hold of a plumber, so we, in a desperate attempt, we called the city. And utilities showed up within 30 minutes to check the city side of things, just to, check and make sure. They were very friendly, they were very professional, they were very informative. So I can't remember their names, I'm sorry, but if you can figure out who it was and just tell them that I really, really appreciate them coming out and just being wonderful representatives of the city. And then this morning, utilities showed back up again to check city equipment. At the same time, they made it a point to come and check on us to make sure we were okay. So our employees for this city are just incredible people. They're absolutely incredible people. And I wish there was some way that I could get them more money or get them a pizza party. I don't know, but I just feel like they have a thankless job. But today I'm just here to thank all of our city departments. But today, utilities is my hero. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Katie.
And we appreciate hearing those type of comments as well. We do.
Corey's actually in the.
It's encouragement. Very much so.
Corey, you hear that?
Any more comments, public comments?
Hi, Lana Foley, city resident, actually speaking to the public and to Sheriff Lewis and not the council. When Sheriff Lewis met with the Wacomico County Compensation Allowance Commission on the 22nd, he spoke about the 287G program, which partners with ICE. Sheriff Lewis, you say you are clear, so I guess the facts presented at the council meetings against your points are just being ignored. You say you want to be part of the solution, so you're wanting to hand over individuals with minor charges to ICE, an agency that has repeatedly ignored its own rules. That's not solving, that's contributing to the problem. You claim you'll serve warrants on people who have already been identified, yet we've been told there is no current way to check ICE status. ICE has detained Black and brown American citizens just to meet quotas. What makes you think they won't target every immigrant who passes through our jail? You say you don't have the manpower? Who will pay to transport people to Baltimore like the contract can require? Our taxpayers will. You ask, why wouldn't we cooperate with ICE? But the real question is, why would we? Why would we help an agency known for racial profiling? You mentioned Delaware ICE agents using our DHS office, but not that the 287G program is illegal in Delaware. You said other counties are looking into it. If it's so great, why haven't they signed it? The truth is, they don't want the liability. Why would you want to make it easier for ICE to take our immigrant residents, helping to feed our families, people who are working hard to put homes over our heads? Is this your legal way to push people out so we don't have a housing problem anymore? Get rid of the extra people you don't feel are worthy of our community? Free up homes? Free up school resources? Even you said in your interview on July 25th, 2025 with WNDT that the migrant population in Wacomico County has not been problematic and most have been victims of crime. Our county is better than this. We should demand our council actually vote on this issue regardless of the outcome. Council should not just give a consensus. Let the districts have a voice. Immigrants aren't taking from the American dream. They are building it. We are listening to you, Sheriff Lewis and Giordano. We hear every point you say, but are you listening to us?
Are there any other public comments?
Good evening, council members. My name is Laura Toner, and I work here in Salisbury. First, I want to say, Lana, thank you for your comment. I fully agree with everything that you've said. But tonight I am here to urge you to codify Salisbury's Housing First program into law as a permanent initiative, as it was originally intended. Housing First is an evidence-based model that has been proven across the country to reduce homelessness, improve health outcomes, and save taxpayer money by reducing emergency service costs. The program works because it provides people with stability first, particularly those receiving disability payments, allowing them to address other challenges once they are safely housed. The mayor's current proposal to turn this into a temporary gateway program is not only a misunderstanding of how Housing First succeeds, it's a move that would gut its effectiveness, destabilize current residents, and jeopardize critical funding. Limiting housing to 1 or 2 years will only send people back to the streets during a housing shortage that this administration's decisions have already made worse. This is not simply a policy disagreement. It is a question of responsibility and duty. City leadership is obligated to protect Salisbury's most vulnerable residents with programs grounded in research, not rhetoric. Housing First was designed as a permanent, supportive housing model for a reason, because permanence is what works. I am asking this council to stand with your community, not against it. Please take the steps necessary to protect the integrity of Housing First, prevent harmful rollbacks, and ensure that Salisbury continues to lead with compassion, evidence, and accountability. Thank you.
Are there any other public comments?
Hey, I'm Christy. I also work in Salisbury and live in Salisbury. I wanted to talk about Housing First also. So I work, as a lot of you know, every day with our unhoused population, professionally and then as well at a shelter in the winter. I see the harm that cycling people through temporary shelters causes. I sit with them as we go over all of the application fees that they have to submit just to get their name on a waiting list that then takes months or even years for them to get approved for. So when the Housing First initiative was adopted in 2017, it was evidence-based, it was compassionate, and it's serving the most vulnerable people in our community. These are people who are on disability. They're making at max $967 a month. If they're on SSI, they could be making as little as $551 a month. That's nothing. When you look at the rental cost in Salisbury, the median rent reported in September was $1,595. How are they, no amount of saving, no amount of math is going to make that work until the affordable housing crisis is addressed. And it's not the time to take away the one supportive housing program that we have to keep people housed. They're just going to be outside with the rest of the people that I work with every single day. So I just urge the council to remember why the program was introduced in the first place. Think about the harm that it will cause when households are cycled back to the streets. House people are not homeless. Homelessness is not a moral failing or evidence of laziness. It's the system that has been built against them. There is nothing that they can do to control these rental prices. There's just nothing they can do. It's up to council, up to us to keep speaking on their behalf. We each get to go home at night. We get to eat dinner at these downtown restaurants, and we don't have to worry about losing everything whenever the city has to come through and clean up the trash. There's going to be more trash when there are more people outside. So just keep that in mind whenever this comes up for vote. And I will see you guys again probably. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more public comments?
How's everyone tonight?
Fine, and you?
Good. Just quickly, my name is Don Diaquila. I'm a business owner here in town. And on October 10th, I sent out some mail to mayor and council and the chief of police. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody got a copy and took a look at the copy. If I could...
You can give it to the clerk. She'll take it.
Anyway, it talks to the ordinance. City has great ordinance, by the way. They've done a lot of hard work on it. And it's ordinance 2918, chapter 5.64. It relates to towing companies. And the section that particularly concerned me was 5.64100, section A. And hoping that you all took the time to look at it. Section A, there's one particular statement in there. Consideration will be given, however, to abnormal traffic patterns that result from adverse weather conditions, emergencies, or other causes. Now, this is a towing ordinance, and the towing ordinance, as you fine folks know, is pretty elaborate, and I would ask you to please take a look at it as it relates to the city possibly having liability associated should an accident take place with regards to a tow service responding to an accident and trying to get there within a reasonable amount of time, as the ordinance states. And, I would just say that maybe everyone can relate to what happened 15 or 20 years ago with Domino Pizza delivery. And they were guaranteeing a certain amount of time for the delivery of the pizza. And there was a tragic accident which involved the loss of life. And the Domino, not the driver, there was a subcontractor, but the Domino Pizza Company paid out a substantial amount of money. And I was concerned enough to bring this up to the city. Great ordinance, by the way, but no matter how great anything is, sometimes we either need to adhere to the ordinance or possibly look to modify the ordinance. But I didn't want the city to incur a potential liability, which it very much states in the ordinance that should something happen, that they very well could be opened up to liability. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of it and take a look at it, and it's pretty clear. I don't know whether you all have had a chance to look at what I sent.
What section was that again?
5.64.100A.
Chapter ordinance, the ordinance is 2918, chapter 5.64, and it relates to towing companies, and it's 5.64.100, section A. And I've highlighted it for all of you fine folks. And I don't know if I gave you enough copies. But I think I ended up with keeping too many. But let me give you a few more. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. Like I said, great ordinance. I adhere to it myself. And I'm certainly a vendor for the city. And but I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
I see. Yeah.
May want to have the city solicitor take a look at it and make sure that it's either agreed to and or modified so that the city doesn't suffer any potential liability should something adverse take place. Thank you so much. Hey, everybody have a great holiday.
Same to you.
And if I can do anything for anybody, let me know.
Do you have an extra copy? You can give it to her. She'll
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Any more public comments?
Hi, I'm Edward Stein. I live in Salisbury. I just had a question. The ordinance 2958, the road is being abandoned. I think it's right there behind Acme, near the police department, if I looked at the right place. But it says it's being abandoned, but it doesn't say who it's abandoned to. I mean, how can you abandon something?
Could you pull your mic up some? Thank you. There you
The
go.
property says it's being abandoned, but it doesn't say who it's being abandoned to. Who's going to get it? The property. I mean, you're going to have to put some name on it, right?
Street.
Ordinance 2958.
Burton Street behind the police department.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm just wondering if I agree with all the housing and the ICE thing. I don't think anybody should be able to lock somebody up if they're hiding their own face. For one thing, I mean, if I hide my face, then they're going to treat me totally different, wouldn't they? I mean, my people came here in 1747. I was an immigrant then, right? If I was alive, it's just my people. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Same to you. Any more public comments? If there are no further public comments, this legislation is now over. It's adjourned. And it is now 6:49. We will now be convening. The time is now 6:54, and we will now convene in work session.
It's a little sketchy.
So what happened?
Somebody else.
Then you start over again?
Yeah, so you go your normal process.
We have to wait till 7. We have to wait until 7. No.
No.
He usually, if you got a call, he say, I can be there in 36 minutes, I can be there in 25 minutes. So.
Okay, we will now convene in work session. Starting, we will have a presentation by the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee.
That's us.
Doesn't have a microphone. I can share my microphone. All right, hello.
Could you all say your names, please?
Yes, we will. We are BPAC and the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee. And do you have a secret?
You can just tell us.
Secret sign. It's one of my pet peeves is like next slide. Why don't I just give you a look and I'll nod?
That'll work.
Okay.
That'll
All right. So this is our mission. We are going to get to introductions. This is our mission statement. So this is what we've been tasked with. We are all passionate about bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure and safety. We all believe that that improving bicycle and pedestrian safety in the city will make it a better city and will make it a place where people want to live. I am Alexander McRae. I live in Mardella Springs, Maryland. I know that is outside of the Salisbury city proper. I do come to Salisbury from time to time. And, I'm a member of the Eastern Shore Running Club, Ocean Velo Club, and Eastern Shore International Mountain Bicycling Association that has an MOU with the city to maintain the trails in the city parks.
Hello, I'm Mary Buffington. I also live in the city, or I do live in the city, Alex does not. I'm also the vice chair of BPAC currently, and I'm a member of the Eastern Shore Running Club. Many of us are bicycle and pedestrian. I support the more pedestrian side of our committee.
This is Dr. Sandy Pope. He is an associate professor in the Department of Secondary and Physical Education and director for the Institute for Public Affairs and Civic Engagement at Salisbury University.
Hi, Sarah Lee Monroe, avid longtime bicyclist. I am also a member of Bike Maryland, a nonprofit organization that lobbies for safe infrastructure and bike laws for the state of Maryland.
John Sader could not be with us tonight, so we'll give his introduction later. And I think, yeah, that's...
I'm Tom Horton, a city resident. I took my first ride on a tricycle from College Avenue in 1948. I'm still tooling around the city on a bike, starting to look at tricycles again.
This is what the BPAC does. We advise, we engage, and we advocate for bicycle and pedestrian safety in the city of Salisbury. We believe that it improves business outcomes, having this safe access to bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure. And that's most of these pictures came from some of them came from just a trip downtown that I took to take pictures of our infrastructure. The previous one was a bicycle rack in front of Ugly Pie. All right, next one. So this is I know that this is some economic impact that we have, and this came from a study of Portland, Oregon, which may not have a lot in common with this fine city, but one of the things that they wanted to show was how much people spend per month at establishments. So if you'll hit the next slide, this shows that people driving a car spend $25.55 per trip, and people on a bike will spend $14.08 per trip. So that seems pretty cut and dried for automobiles. If you go to the next one, but if you take into account that the automobile person will only take 1.6 trips, this is an average, while the bike will have 4.9, that will go to the next.
that will go to a total per month of a different amount, which shows the bicyclist attending a bar would, over the course of the months put more money into the city revenue.
Hi, Sarah Lee Monroe. I want to talk to you about bicycle-friendly businesses. Former BPAC committee member Matt Drew initiated this program in 2014. Following his success, the committee feels it would be worth updating and expanding the effort for the benefit of cyclists and give businesses a better understanding of cyclists' economic impact. This slide shows a few businesses that participated in the initial program. We have contacted businesses to gauge interest. Thus far, every business we've reached out to is eager to participate again.
So with each of these slides that you're going to see with just a brief something on it, each of them have a link underneath that goes to the study where this information came from. So this is just a review of what we think is important and why it's important for us to do this. So these bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure will improve property values if people think it's important. And it'll be around, according to one study in Raleigh, that number was 12% that it improved the property value adjacent to bicycle trails. It improves health outcomes because people are able to safely exercise outside. Reduces mortality because they are protected from traffic. It improves the quality of life. This is I just think that our Riverwalk is a good-looking place. But this next is a quote from one of the articles where they found that using a car for over 50% of your out-of-home activities lowers life satisfaction, and I think that's worth knowing, and I think it's worth trying to experiment with. Try to use your car less. If you have safe ways for people to get to places, such as our Unity Square here, it will improve the amount that they are used. This is getting into some of our work with Vision Zero. This is an example of a ghost bike. Sarah Lee, could you say something about the ghost bike?
Sure. Internationally, when you see a white stripped bicycle like this, it means somebody died there. And in this particular instance, this man was hit and the driver did not stop here in Salisbury. Yeah. And I believe it was 2023. Mm-hmm. Normally, anonymous people will install bicycles where somebody has died. And it's usually honored and left there. It sends a message. It tells you maybe there's something wrong with the intersection. Maybe the lighting isn't good. Maybe it's not a good place to cross. Maybe people aren't paying attention. But internationally, data shows that if you put a ghost bike up where a fatality has occurred, people pay more attention. They want to know what it is. They might look it up to see what it is. But people begin to understand that there could be something in this area that's causing this.
And if you go back or just a moment more, the quote from the article below there is that our children are twice as likely to die in an automobile crash as our nearest peer nations. That's something important to consider. And BPAC is one of the 6 supporting partners for the Vision Zero that Salisbury produced. And then BPAC gathers data and stories from the community. So these are some of the important roads that have had incidents on those roads. Not incidents, they are crashes. They are referred to as crashes. They are not accidents. There are a variety of factors that impact it. It is a crash. So the red one is the highest concentration for pedestrian. Green is high concentration of bike crashes, and orange is serious injury, and then black is a corridor with a fatal crash on record. So we do work to advise our council liaison and our city liaison on any of these plans as far as what we consider with these types of plans that they have. This is tabling, or we've tabled for, or we've done bike valet and table for a few events. And Mary, could
Sure,
you?
I can talk on this. So the bike valet, which I'm sure Alex will also mention in a moment, is like a coat check for your bicycle. So you take your bike and you drop it off with somebody, and you get some type of token or photo that proves that that's your bike. And then when you go off, you enjoy the event, and you come back and your bike is waiting for you when you get back. You don't have to worry about finding a place to lock it up. You don't have to worry about bringing a lock. It's just a really nice service that we're able to provide. BPAC has been supporting the Maryland Folk Festival since 2019. And every year we have about 125 bikes participating. We do get repeat bikes all weekend, and when people come, we welcome them. We're able to give them some of our handouts, which could be bike locks, bells, bike lights for safety. Safety is a really big component of BPAC, and we're just really proud to provide that service to the Folk Festival, and also Third Friday and the National Night Out.
Yeah, and that's. And I will say that Sarah Lee was very diligent at making sure that every bike that a child got from the National Night Out this last year, that they also got a bell.
That's awesome. Yeah.
All right, so this is into our actions. These are things that we plan to do, or general ideas of what we plan to do when we are meeting and convening. These are things that we want to do. We want to advocate the use of existing infrastructure. This is in our parking garage. It could benefit from a light and maybe a sign to tell people where it is, but it is a pretty functional bike repair stand. It has a pump and a variety of tools. So it has helped us out on Bike Party SBY and many other events that have been going on in the city where people had some sort of bike issue, and it was very conveniently located. We want to advocate for connecting this existing infrastructure. This is the section of Armstrong Parkway. When this was passed and when it came up, we were all very excited about it. It is very close to the Naylor Mill Trails. Is very close to Northwood Drive. However, as it is now, it is somewhat in the middle between these two things, and it's not connected. It would be very useful to have that connect with those other two pieces of infrastructure, so that it would make a better continuous bike network, which is the important idea with these infrastructures. We want to advocate for improvements based on demands and evidence. This is an evidence of a intersection that needs some work. There's a bike lane on the right that tells you to stop. If you, well, you can't see it. In the car lane, it has a sharrow. And I don't believe that bike in that area will trigger the stoplight. So that would be some evidence that some of the infrastructure that we needs some refining. But one other important idea with advocating for improvements based on demand and evidence is like, I did not make this up, but it's like asking people if they want a bridge based on how many people swim across a river. That's not the best way to determine if you should have this improvement. So we're not basing on demands and evidence. We're just advocating for improvements to our bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure. We do think this is important. Every one of us here has been either directly involved in a crash or knows someone who's been involved in a crash with varying degrees of severity. So it's something that we all take seriously. And that's what we do as a committee. Does anybody have any other final thoughts?
Well done.
Well, I think just personally, a high priority, I think, would be trying to move ahead on that bike lane down the railroad tracks. I know a lot of people who are just afraid to ride in existing bike lanes who say they would ride on that, which would essentially be a protected separate bike lane. I think, well, way back when we hired some consultants maybe 10, 15 years ago. They recommended we put the bulk of our effort into that sort of trail, and I think it's still a good idea. Would get more people out.
Do any of us have questions?
Very informative. I love the valet biking idea.
And I think I missed some. I wasn't for sure about the ghost bikes. Who sets those up in those areas?
Councilwoman Jackson, that is notoriously done anonymously.
Okay.
It's very humbling. It is very emotional, especially if the people know the person. And the bike community is pretty thick. We may not all ride together, but we know who rides. And it's done anonymously for a reason. They don't want accolades. They just go about their business finding a bike, stripping it, painting it white, and installing it.
The reason being is because I've had two of my childhood friends who have ghost bikes right now, one on 50 and one on West Road. And it was very humbling when I saw it. I was like, oh my goodness. And the sons of one of them took a picture and put it on Facebook. Then the mother of one of the guys on 50, she took a picture and she sent it to me. And I just think it's a wonderful thing to do. I hope to not see any more around here. And I know that's why I won't get on a bicycle, because I'm not sure if I can even ride one now. It's been so long since I rode a bicycle. I'm scared I'll be a tragedy.
Training wheels.
Serious, yeah.
Training
That's what I would
wheels.
need. I'll need a trike, like he said. I'll need a tricycle. But we appreciate you coming forward
Very
and
informative.
representing the BPAC.
Yeah.
And if there's any other information that you could bring forward to us, we would love to have it.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
After the fact. Oh, they're gone, never mind.
We have ordinance amending the Schedule C included in fiscal year 2026 budget ordinance 2935 for the period of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Financial Director.
Good evening, Sandy Green, Finance Director. This ordinance is just to revise the Schedule C that was initially put in the budget ordinance for FY26. We found that we accidentally left off some of the grants that were supposed to be in the Schedule C, and we've included the ones in the revision that were missed, and we've also included the grant matches, and there's no increase to any of the grant matches that would affect the city's portion of what we have to pay. It's just so that we don't have to come forward every time with another grant, that we usually try to put all of these that we anticipate in Schedule C, so that we don't have to do a separate ordinance for each one of them.
Okay. Does council have any questions? Do we have consensus to move this forward?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if you want me to stay for the next one.
Well, if you want to, yes, you can.
Am I on this one?
Ordinance to approve the budget amendment to City Water Sewer Capital Budget Fund to provide additional funds for elevated water tank maintenance. Corey?
Or you want? Thought the water.
Did you skipped, yeah, what was that, yeah.
Did I skip one?
She's next.
Oh, Sandy, I'm sorry. Wait a minute, Corey. But you can have a seat right there.
You want to have a seat?
Yeah.
You got all the way up here.
She has a question for you, Sandy.
The housing and homeless operations, the funding level is revised from 36 to 20.
Yes.
Can you tell me what that involves and why?
Actually, the grant person did this revision, and there's not anybody here to explain it, but I can get back to you on that.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd appreciate
An
it.
exact answer on that, because I don't want to.
Housing and homeless.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about it. I just think, yeah.
Just stay there, Sandy. Ordinance authorizing a budget amendment for the mayor to transfer $165,000 for surplus to provide additional finance support for the Waterside Park project.
This ordinance is requesting an additional $165,000. The project has experienced delays due to construction bids exceeding the original budget allocation. So this additional funding is necessary to complete the project as designed to prevent further delays, to mitigate potential cost increases, and to ensure that the city remains in compliance with the applicable grant requirements that we have on this project. This additional $165,000 will be funded with surplus.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment on that. Waterside's been around for, 6 or 7 years. Been 4 times. We finally, I think, got it to a close. This is a little bit of a help to get it to the close. We did the best we could to get everything kind of in a row. Great addition to Waterside Park, and I think it'll finish off that park in a way that it hasn't been, so.
I was getting ready to ask.
Okay.
You know I was.
I know.
Okay, any other questions from the council?
No, I don't.
Well, I'm glad to see this $165,000 come because, as the mayor has said, it's been quite a while. Matter of fact, I've been 10 years, and it was before 10 years ago.
Well, I underestimate. I'm sorry.
I've been fighting for this to happen, and I'm glad that it's coming, and I hope we don't have any other interruptions or anything, because this needs to be taken care of ASAP. And I'm not saying I'm waiting for the drop out of the sky, but that community deserves it. They deserve it. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm with you now, Corey. Ordinance to approve the budget amendments to city's water sewer capital project fund to provide additional funds for elevated water tank maintenance. Our Director of Waterworks Director is
Julie
Corey
brought
Cameron.
a copy of the memo that didn't get attached, so that's just a little bit of explanation. We put the water tower, the Salisbury University Tower, out to bid. Bids came in higher than the money we had. We needed an additional $75,000 to complete this. The top of the tank is in really bad shape, so we need to sandblast it all the way down to get it clean. So otherwise, if we just paint over that, it's only going to last about 5 years. So do this, it's going to last for a long time. So I got with Sandy, we were able to transfer some lawsuit interest funds that we had built up in some of our accounts over into the elevated storage tank project, so we can get this done.
Okay, do we have any questions there? No idea. Now, what water tower is this?
Salisbury University Tower.
What are they putting towards it?
They're paying for their logo on the tower. We own the tower.
Okay.
The city does. So they're paying for their logo to be replaced, so that's going to be, and the cost of the logo is $15,000.
Okay, now, what I do not like or understand is if they're being allowed to put their logo on it and we're advertising their school, then they should invest more money in that tower. Even though it is ours, they should be investing more money in that. I mean, I'm not going to argue or debate with you, and I'm just expressing how I feel. And that's what I think should happen. I mean, $15,000 just to put a logo, and we're paying, what, $75,000 or more?
No.
Yeah, we're paying about $400,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they could at least give $100,000 of that. Seriously. Because their logo, we're advertising them. So I think we should actually dig into seeing if they could come up with more, because we're doing the basics, if you understand what I'm saying, Corey. We're doing the basics. They're just putting a little wrap on it. It's probably what it's going to be, a wrap that goes around it. And I think it's an insult to the city. It's an insult. To me, it's an insult.
So we have a standing MOU from when we put the tower up with Salisbury University. So we renewed that for this painting. So we kind of already have an agreement for this round.
Yeah, a worthwhile discussion and in-kind contribution to the city. I think, your point's well taken. we're allowing them to advertise, which I think is neat. It's a neat partnership. But we could, and they've done a little bit with us, but they could do more, I think.
They can.
Yeah.
They really can. And it's no harm taking it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to SU or even you, Corey. I'm just saying that if we're paying $400,000, $15,000 is just a drop in the bucket. They're not giving us anything. They're advertising. We're not advertising the tower on the tower. They are. So I think, and when we get ready to do it again, how long will this paint?
This should last at least 20 years, if not more.
I'll probably be gone by then.
Me too.
From there.
But, I mean, we
That's
also
here.
we have Warwick
Not her.
on the other tower, and in the CIP, we have plans for a future tower, so it's something the city could look at then for what goes on the new tower.
We should.
Yeah.
We should. But I thank you, Corey, for bringing that forward. And anybody else, questions? No? Do we have consensus to move this forward?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Public comments, and you must stay to the agenda items.
Madam President,
Yes.
can I just, we aren't sure if we got on the record consensus for the Waterside Park project. Can you just say if there's consensus for that? Just,
Do we have consensus
Yes.
for the Waterside Park? I thought we did, but
No.
I'm just
didn't.
making
I
sure.
apologize.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'll take it. I'll take my wrong.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Any public comments? No public comments? Okay, thank you, Lana.
Lana Foley, City of Salisbury. I just want to say that I appreciate your fight back on the water tower. I think in a lot of ways there's looking at it in two ways, in the sense that the school brings us a lot of benefit as far as bringing income to our city and to our county. And so we do appreciate that the school is here and that we're getting money from them and from the students. But I also feel like we have to remember that the students are getting benefit from the water. And so if we don't have that water tower and it's not working, it doesn't benefit the university either. So I do think that that is a logical point to push for them to contribute to that a little bit more.
Thank you. Any more public comments? Okay. Administrative comments?
Nothing from me, thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a couple comments that was made tonight. Talking about housing first. I made a comment. We sent out a letter for that purpose, but I did an interview with Don Rush, which I think put a little bit more meat on the bone in terms of our perspective. What we're trying to do there is get a better result, be able to help more people, and if we mean more dollars, that's a normal course of action. But because we're right now we've got Ann Street and we've got a half of 1%, so we're not exactly but we have some challenges and they're different. They're not just the gateway concept is to support people that are in transition, have issues, and allow them to get to a place of permanent and supportive housing. It's not to take from anybody. There are people in the program now that will stay in that program, but others that may not, and maybe be able to transition to a permanent form that's not supported by the city, and then we can move on to help other people. That's the kind of the goal. So I just want to put a little bit finer point on that subject. Beyond that, I think we've had a good week this week and had a couple good projects going out. You'll hear about in the next couple of weeks. So looking forward to those. So thanks.
Michelle?
Well, this weekend was the annual Treat Street downtown, and there were so many. It was packed. This was the most attended, and I don't know the exact number. I think they were trying to count, and then they lost track because it was packed. I mean, the lines wrapped up and down Main Street. I've never seen it go that long. I think, this is just speaks to the number of young people that we have, because JC's is a group of younger folks. The young folks in this community are really giving back and really connected into the community. I really wish I had stuck around to see them take down the giant inflatable pumpkin. If you haven't seen it, go on the JC's Facebook page and go look at the size of that pumpkin. It was like a 2.5-story tall pumpkin,
It was.
inflatable,
I saw it.
and it was huge. I should have stuck around to watch them take it down because I thought that I realized after the fact that was probably pretty interesting to watch. But I mean, the number of kids that came out, it was great. There were so many cute costumes out there, and it was such a great afternoon. I highly enjoyed it, and I'm really glad to see, organizations where younger folks are getting engaged and giving back to the community. So I just wanted to give them all a shout out for all the hard work that they did. It was not unnoticed.
Thank you. Sharon, what do you have on your agenda?
Okay.
I
That's
love
it.
her.
It's all right. I just wanted to give you a heads up. The county sponsored a legislative breakfast, and the good news is that it gave the county executive, the county council, public safety, higher education, Wycomico County Schools, SWED, and municipal updates. And our own Chief Mindshine also presented. And these are just sharing concerns from our city and our county with our delegates. And they all showed up, and they're doing the best they can. But as one delegate said at another town hall meeting, that unfortunately the Eastern Shore is not a focus for the state. So we have to fight a little harder. And our delegates we've shared information on the bills and things like that. So that was very informative. I attended the Town Gown, which is an event that SU puts on to keep the community and the college connected. They have ongoing centennial celebrations, so go on their website. So that will be going on all year. The one thing I have used and really appreciate, it's a program called I Love Salisbury, and they have a lot of their students that are willing to help with projects. I plan on hitting them for the homeless shelter to come out and help with registration. And they're already interested in that, so that's a huge help. The coach of the year was a football, Sherman Wood.
Yes.
So if you see him, good job, coach. They also, Michelle's talking about Halloween. They're having Halloween on Camden Avenue this Friday. So if you need a safe focus for your children to go trick-or-treating, please take advantage of that. Again, another house blessing, which is great. Habitat is doing a wonderful job and had the privilege of seeing the groundbreaking and then the actual ownership transfer. And the last thing is, since PAC 14, I want you all to take a minute, or actually six or 7 minutes, and go on and see their year in review video, because it is phenomenal. PAC 14 served last year 95 organizations. The local producer of the year was Open Agenda, and the year in review, spare me, April, indulge me. I just want to give you, if you can get hold of their annual report, this is what they've done. 810 new program hours, 70 local producer workshop attendees, 1,425 visitors, 1,000 total government programming hours. That was something we chuckled about because the last county council meeting was 5.5 hours. Editing reservations, 565, 190 studio reservations, and 145 camera reservations. They're doing a fabulous job, and Chris is back here in the closet taking care of us. So thank you, everyone, for all you do. There is a walk this Saturday, November 1st, a Down syndrome walk in the Salisbury Park. So those of you that are interested in supporting that, it's a first in our area. So thank you. That's my list, April. Done.
Okay. I went, I think it was Friday, to Vehicles for Change. It was so wonderful. I mean, we see young people, families with children, and even just single people who are in that program, and they work on their own vehicles. And they give vehicles away. People donate them, and they give them to different families or single people that need transportation to work or wherever. But it was such a, Michael went with me, and it was such a lovely event. And then Saturday, we met with SU, Eli and Carolyn. I'm the president of SU. Had a nice little conversation, had lunch, and just had a ball, for real. But we had good conversation. We did. We had very good conversation. And then Saturday, I went to Women for Women Domestic Violence. They had a walk at City Park. I didn't walk, though. I didn't want to be last, so I didn't walk. No,
Need your
I can't.
tricycle.
I get winded, so I don't try to walk. And then again, I like to tell you about the Relay for Life. Such a phenomenal group of people. Cancer is real. It's real. And what we have to do is fight back. Like I said, I'm a 2-time survivor, maybe like 20-something years apart, but it came back. I no longer have cancer, but I had those memories. I had been sick for a while, and I'm still not where I want to be. I'm still not. Some days are hard for me. Some days I struggle to get up. Some days I struggle to even breathe. But I'm here. I'm here. And whatever I have to do, working in the city, then that's what I have to do. But nobody knows what a person goes through, struggling with cancer. And especially to have it 2 times, or to have it and it goes in remission and come back. Relay for Life helped me so much. I can tell you, I mean, phenomenal men and women. I couldn't thank you enough, Lana. She was really my sidekick. But it was helpful. You know, we need that strengthening. Ms. Bratton is also a 3-time survivor. So, you know, it's something to have to even go through that. And whoever is diagnosed or anything, you always have me to talk to. I know I'm crying right now because it is emotional, because my parents died of cancer. So it is very emotional with me, because I lived and they didn't. Cousin died and I didn't. So it's emotional. And I'd like to just again thank Relay for Life for saving my life. And I also like to say Friday, we're also having a community trunk and treat in our community at Village of Mitchell Pond. And we have some people to dress their cars up. And I know I'm late, Chief, and I know I'm late with the fire department. But I'd like to have you present if possible. If not, then I understand. Just come out and give out some little candies and stuff, because this is what I do. And everything I do is free. Every program I have is basically free. So, and the community does donate. And I pull out of my pocket and I do what I have to do. So it'll be from 5 to 8. We'll have free food, hot dogs, chips, drinks, bags of candy, different games we'll be playing. And you know what? We play those old games. We go back to the old games, you know, like pie eating contest, potato sack race, and things of that sort. You go back to that. I wish we could go back to Bob and Apples, but I don't trust that anymore, because that was a fun game when we were young, but I don't want to go back to that anymore. But I like to see some of you out there, if you just come and see what we do, and the magnitude that we do it in. And I'm doing it in that community because there's a need for it in that community, and I'm not separating Pemberton from Village of Mitchell Pond. Everybody is invited. The whole city, the whole county is invited to come out. So please come out and just see what goes on. Not asking for much, just come. Just be present. With that being said, I thought I had something else, but I don't cry now. I can't even say nothing else. I'm just too done with myself, because I didn't plan on crying. Oh, yeah, town hall. For Pemberton is the first.
Yeah, 1 to 3.
One, huh? 1 to 3 at the Pemberton Coffee House. It is important. And we were planning on doing a walk that day. It's important. And I would ask that people be there again to support the effort of trying to get this company to move forward and renovating these apartments. They're much needed. They're very much needed. People are living, when I tell you below poverty with the conditions of those apartments, they're terrible. Infestation of rats, mice, roaches, everything. Mold, mildew, leaking water, rainwater going in your apartments or you're on the bottom level. That's not the way Salisbury wants people to live. That's not the way I want Salisbury to live. I want people to live in healthy, wholesome environments. And I won't stop until it's done. And I thank Demetria for being the force behind me, because I've been working on this for how many years? Since I've been here. Since I've been on the council, I've been working towards this. So hopefully something will come of it. And it doesn't really have to do with the management. It has something to do with the owners. So I thank you, and thank you, Lana, for reminding me. And do you have something to say?
I just wanted to add Kim Nichols to the list of people that you were talking about with breast cancer.
Yes, Kim. Such a sweetheart. Yes, she was. Yes, she did. We fought with her on that. We would come in here with our hats and our stuff on, because she lost her hair. And we would come in, you're not alone. We're going to wear our hats as well. I thank you all for coming. Enjoyed this meeting to the fullest, and I can honestly say I enjoyed the meeting.
Yeah, there you go.
I enjoyed it. It's no hooping and hollering or whatever, but it's a good thing. And we are now adjourned.